Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. This is the Mighty Eskimo, and this is What It Is This Is, and What It Is This Is today is going to be Borderlands DLC. It's Tiny Tina's quest for Dragon's Keep.
It's a lovely day in Flame Rock Refuge, a far cry from...
Wait, didn't you just say the sorcerer messed up the town? Why would things be lovely?
Whoops. What I meant to say is, it's eternal night, and you hear spooky music, and the whole area kind of smells like butts and dead people.
This area kind of smells like butts and dead people.
So this has got to be the best Borderlands 2 DLC as of yet. It's got a lot of things going for it. I mean a lot. It's very, very funny. It is super action-packed, and it's actually surprisingly sincere and heartfelt.
Why? I'm just interested in sci-fi and fantasy and unicorns and... Why can't I be part of your game?
Tiny Tina and some of the Vault Hunter crew actually have a lot of emotional issues that they need to get taken care of. And since Borderlands 2 has so much action going on, they don't have time to do that kind of stuff. So having this DLC, having them forced to play this board game, actually makes them sort through their issues and creates a wonderful ending to the Borderlands 2 story. And if this was the last DLC for Borderlands 2, I would praise it. So this is Borderlands 2. There hasn't been a lot of changes, except for everything. The whole world has changed, basically. You have different vendors that say different things.
Why choose an honorable weapon when you could buy a gun? Farewell. Magic's no match for a well-aimed bullet.
You have new bosses and enemies to fight.
Okay, how about a new boss? He's a skeleton, and his name is Mr. Bony Pants Guy?
I am Mr. Boney Van Sky.
Does that work?
This pleases me.
And you have new uses for Iridium, such as chests that have dice that give you a better chance for extra stuff. You also have shrines that give you boosts if you use up Iridium. And then, of course, Iridium slot machines. Ah, yeah.
Do it again! Do it again! Those thingies.
Tiny Tina is your dungeon master in this DLC, and since she's only 13, she's not quite good at it. She has overbalanced stuff, she has stuff missing, she doesn't have things well prepared, but that's when she makes stuff up on the fly.
You enter the Forest of Tranquility!
Tranquility? Boring.
Okay, good point. Dang, now I gotta come up with a better name for the forest. I've got it!
Damn! I knew I shouldn't have trusted trees.
I have to admire the side quests in this game. They're really top notch. The side quests in the other DLCs weren't that, fun. They weren't that exciting. They weren't that funny. Well, excluding maybe Torque's Campaign of Carnage. This one really raised the bar. One of my favorite ones was when Moxie gave you a side quest to go get some crumpets for the town since they don't have any food. And inadvertently we find out what Tiny Tina's been eating all these years.
Just the thing for it. Times are tough, sugar. Ever since the sorcerer cast his Crumpocalypse spell, we've been running awful low on food. If you spot any crumpets, be a doll and grab 'em, would you?
Wait, we can only bring the town crumpets? Tina, you know there are, other kinds of food, right? You haven't seriously been living on just crumpets for the last few years, have you?
I do not understand the question.
I love the roster that Tiny Tina came up for her NPCs in this Dungeons & Dragons universe. You have a lot of them that you've loved over the course of the years for Borderlands in general, and there's a couple of them that are subtly thrown in there. For example, the fairies that you mate, that you can actually get bonuses from if you touch them instead of, shoot them, they're actually Maya. You had to look pretty closely though. And then if you look closely at Mr. Torque, you'll notice that he's frickin' hilarious.
You guys sure are the best. Or my mama didn't name me Mr. Dorg.
Wait, your first name is Mr. Torg? What's your last name?
Flexington!
There's actually some NPCs that have nothing to do with really anything, but they throw them in there and they throw some dialogue on them, and they're actually really fun to listen to. Like my friend here.
Welcome. I am the great Spatula Khan, destroyer of men and the pleaser of the taste buds. I was greatest chef on Pandora until the weenie emperor rose to power.
Although most of the time, Bunkers and Badasses is just parodying the actual game of D&D, it is nice to see them actually giving correct portrayals of how the D&D universe really works, like how the dice rolls can really mess you up sometimes.
I got a 1.
A 1? That's a critical fail, otherwise known as a fumble.
What? How can you fail to pick up a gun?
It looks like the gun flies out of your hands into the distance.
Whoops.
What?
That's the rules, Morty.
Calm down, baby. Just track the gun down and roll again. You find the gun again. Lilith, roll to pick it up.
1.
Oh, while picking up the gun, it accidentally slips from your hands again, but not before breaking all your fingers. Take, like, a lot of damage.
Oh, that's bull. I'm really good at picking stuff up.
This makes no sense!
Yeah, that was harsh.
There are a couple of things I did want to mention that are a little nitpicks about the game. The main one being in certain segments of the game, there are just way too many enemies to deal with. I know they probably wanted to make the situation dire feeling or something like that, but in all, it just made it feel like they were trying to stretch the game out a little bit too long. There were a few things they introduced into the game that really changed up the gameplay, like the fairies. The fairies actually gave you boosts if you talked to them or touched them or whatever you did, but actually would attack you if you accidentally shot them. So it really introduced something they called frenemies, and I really liked that. The unfortunate thing is that they didn't really stick with it. There was a few things that they just kind of forgot about and went with the old standby. Let's shoot it until it dies. The only other gripe that I had about this game is that there weren't any particular loot drops that were very substantial. I mean, they were all iridium and some basic guns here and there. There wasn't that explosion of awesome stuff that you would sift through to kind of find the best one, like they did with the bosses of the original game. Really, I think all they wanted you to do is get enough iridium so you can open these chests, or use the slot machines, or get the bonus, I don't know, rune shrines. But it never gave you the satisfaction that it did when you defeated a boss and it spewed this golden weapon of awesomeness. I will hand it to them, though, that there is a unique gun from a quest that I really think the military should start working on, because anybody who had this gun would definitely rule the world. And I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but I'm pretty sure you'll know it when you see it. So it's time to score this sucker. I give it a 9.5, an A, and then I give it a high recommendation. You've already heard it from me. Definitely pick it up. And if you don't have Borderlands, what's wrong with you? Go pick up Borderlands. Definitely go and get it. I can't believe you're just sitting there listening to me yammer on. Go get Borderlands, and then go get this DLC. I will recommend that you do go play Borderlands before you play this DLC, because there are some major spoilers in it. Like, crazy spoilers. And that pretty much wraps everything up. Leave me a comment, let me know how I'm doing. If I'm doing poorly, let me know. If I'm doing well, let me know. Like and subscribe if you did like the videos. It really helps me out, appreciate it. Makes me feel all tingly inside. And before I let you go, I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Ellie as she models her new, authentic Dungeons & Dragons outfit. Enjoy!
This ain't gonna protect me for balls, but feel pretty hot right now, ain't gonna lie.